Hi guys, it's Shell with Little Acres Creations. Today I am using some Distress Oxide and we're making a fun little card to celebrate the solar eclipse. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm using the Distress Oxide color Fossilized Amber, and I'm just going in a circular motion on my paper. Now this paper will be cut down later, so I'm just kind of aiming for an area that I think would look nice. And now I'm coming back and I'm just using a distress tool that is available at littleacrescreations.com. So the second color I'm using is Spiced Marmalade, and again these are the Distress Oxides, and I'm just kind of doing like a sun type color because again this is celebrating the eclipse. And I just thought this would be a fun thing. You could put this in your scrapbook, or you could do whatever you wanted to do. So now I am choosing a mask. So what I'm doing is I just went through my dies, and I just chose, the size that I want the sun to be. So I'm choosing my die. You could certainly use a punch here. If you have a circle punch, I have a couple, but at the time it didn't occur to me to use them. So what I'm doing is I'm using the die and I'm using like a post-it note, and I'm just going to cut a circle just to have a little bit of a mask to put over our sun so that when we put the black on, it will, it will protect the sun. Okay, so now, I don't usually do voiceovers. Okay, so I'm putting a mask on here, and I'm fixing to use some black soot, Distress Oxide, and I'm just going to cover the whole sheet of paper with the Distress Oxide, or with the black soot. Okay, and while I am putting on the black soot, I'm not going right up to the line of the mask. I'm kind of going over it, and, I'm having it dark except maybe around a half an inch around the mask, because I don't want like a really stark line. I kind of want like a halo. If you look at pictures of the eclipse, you kind of see that. Okay, and now I'm using some pill paint, and I'm just kind of adding some grass. I'm kind of adding like a grounding point so that when I come back with my lawn chair, that it doesn't look like it's like floating in midair. So what I'm doing is I just used I'm using like a sticky note, and I'm just doing like a straight line, and I'm kind of darkening that now. I put away this pill paint, and I'm bringing back the black soot, and I'm just darkening that just so that we have, a difference from the air or the atmosphere in the ground. I didn't want him like floating in midair. Okay, and I'm using the little dog from the stamp set, Dog on Vacation. So that is available at Little Acres Creations. So I already had him stamped out. I colored him with Copic markers, and now I'm just fussy cutting him out. Okay, and here I'm just using a black pen just to go around the edges, and that makes it look like you have a perfect cutout. Okay, and I have a scrap sheet of paper. I'm just blending some Distress Oxide black soot, and I'm going to cut that out using the same die that I used for the mask, because this is going to be our eclipse part that goes over our sun. I'm using just a frame die. Now this one is about, I believe it's 3 3/4 by 5, and I'm just cutting out, you know, just a frame or just the background that I'm going to use on my card. Now you may notice that the sun is in a different area. That's because the first panel I misplaced. So I quickly did another one with the sun further to the right. So now I'm just putting things together. I'm cutting down a card base, and all I'm doing is cutting a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper in half, and I'm folding that. And when I started looking at it, I really felt like it needed just a frame. So I took a solid black sheet of paper, I cut it down to 4 by 5.5 or 5 1/4, and you'll see me put that under, you know, our main sheet of paper. And of course, you can't watch the eclipse without glasses. So I went back to the Doggone Vacation stamp set. And again, this is available at littleacrescreations.com. And I took the snorkel. So I'm going to go ahead, stamp the snorkel. I'm going to color the glasses part in black. And then I'm going to fussy cut that out. And I'm going to attach that using some foam dots. And just to finish up, I'm going to go ahead and just put my little eclipse piece over my sun. And what I'm using is just the negative pieces of the foam dots, because you want to use every piece of your material. So what I'm doing is I just use that negative piece. I'm going to put that on the sun just about 1/4 inch so that it's not perfectly on the sun, kind of like it's on the way to a full eclipse. So I'm doing that, and then our card will be done. I think this will be a lot of fun to maybe make a card or maybe a layout using this, you know, just to celebrate the eclipse. I think it's such a fun idea. And I absolutely love how it turned out. I think it's so fun. So stay tuned for the end of this video, and you'll see my surprise guest. You guys have a great day.